Welcome to the Source Studio podcast. My name is Priscilla and I am your host. And I'm on a mission to help luxurious interior designers reclaim their precious time and elevate their services to turn their interior design business into a 7-figure company. How? Keep listening. Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of this podcast. Today we are going to be talking all about floor plans and 2D drafting. And what does it help when it comes to interior design? Why is it so time consuming? Why is it absolutely essential? Why should you delegate this task? And stay tuned until the end for a pro tip for streamlining your drafting process. So let's start from the basics. I'm pretty sure you already know this if you're an interior designer, but anyways, a floor plan is a visual representation of a room or a space from an overhead perspective. So let me give you a visual example for this. This is like if you had a shoebox and you took the top of it and you will see everything from on top. So if you were able to cut your house in pieces, that would be like if you took completely the roof out of it and you look at it from the top. That's what a floor plan is. Interior designers, you already know this, but I am saying it in case anyone who is not an interior designer is listening to this. For interior designers, floor plans are obviously the starting point of any project, and they act as the blueprint to guide the creative vision and to have a better sense of the space, the measurements, dimensions, etc. By visualizing all this, you can optimize the functionality, the planned furniture placement, as I already mentioned, and you will also make sure that you are taking advantage, even if that sounds kind of weird, but taking advantage and making efficient use of the space in every square footage. Floor plans also allow you to analyze the space and identify design opportunities and potential challenges that you might have during the design process, but you will see them at the beginning. As all of you already know, floor plans are absolutely essential. You cannot even proceed with a project in interior design or architecture if you don't have a floor plan. This is the foundation of each project. But we all know how time consuming this process can be. 2D drafting can take so much time because we have to focus on every single detail. This is the most technical part of each project and sometimes can be boring too. Not everyone likes to do this part of each project. I mentioned this is a very meticulous process, and we as designers have to ensure that each measurement, each dimension is very precise, and we have to make accurate annotations and have very careful consideration of every design element when we are developing the floor plan. If we get it wrong, each dimension that is made on the floor plan can have a significant implication on the final design. And this makes attention to detail completely essential. Imagine you got the dimension of, the bathroom wrong, and where you're going to put the toilet, instead of allowing you to put the toilet and something else on the side and you have some space to play around, it is actually very tight and you projected everything in the wrong way. So you start developing the project with those dimensions, with that space you have in mind, and then you go to the actual site again and you realize everything is wrong and you have to start from scratch, back to the beginning and everything. And that can be very annoying and consume even more of your time. So this brings me to say that also balancing efficiency and accuracy is a constant challenge for designers. We probably are trying to make everything faster to meet the tight deadlines, and we are also trying to be very accurate for the reasons I mentioned before. And this is when we come into play, but I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later in this episode. I wanna focus on the essential role of floor plans. As we mentioned before, floor plans play a vital role in the interior design process, and they act as a roadmap that guides designers from concept to execution. They provide a clear visualization of the project's spatial layout, and it also enables you to align your creative vision with practical considerations. So this is very similar to what I was saying before. Having accurate dimensions and measurements is so important that I cannot stop saying this. This would also allow you to develop a better design that is a more practical design without losing the beauty of it. I don't think there is any need to keep repeating myself. We know that floor plans are completely essential in translating design ideas into tangible, functional, and aesthetically too pleasing environments. So now is the time to talk about delegating this task, some benefits and considerations to have in mind when it comes to considering delegating. First of all, as I mentioned before in this episode, I think we all know that the biggest benefit of delegating this task is the time-consuming aspect is gonna be removed out of your plate. So by delegating this task to an outsourcing company or group of people like us, you are able to focus on the very important stuff of your project and not have to focus on these technical details, because you know that parallel to your work, we are doing this for you. And you know that this is gonna be accurate, the dimensions and measurements are gonna be accurate. Have in mind that you have to give us accurate dimensions and measurements. Everything you give us, we are gonna be projecting it into the floor plan. So it's very important that either you or a survey company can do this very accurately for you. So you can send that up to us and we can take care of it very efficiently. Going back to the point, delegating the floor planning task can be a very strategic move for interior designers, and I hope that by this point you already realized that, but allow me to tell you a little bit more about this. Some of the other benefits of delegating this task is, first of all, let's be honest, not having to do something you don't really want to. And I think we talk a little bit about this in one of our other podcast episodes. There is some people that do like to do this, but I think most of us, we don't really love doing the drafting process, the technicalities and all this. So I see that as a huge benefit of delegating this task, not having to do it. So we have not wasting time on it and not having to do something that you don't want to. Those two come together and they are great benefits of delegating this task. And lastly, I would like to say a last benefit of it, which is we already know how great your floor plans are, but you can get the help of someone who has probably or maybe even more experience than you do, which would ensure that these floor plans will have a high quality level, which obviously is what we are trying to reach here. High level, luxurious, you get the point. However, designers, all of you guys, you should carefully consider who you outsource to. And what do I mean with this? I mean that make sure the people that you're choosing actually have the experience they say they have or the quality you want them to have, and that they share your visions and your ways to work. Make sure they maintain control over the design vision and they can give you an accurate result. And obviously a high quality floor plan that aligns with your project requirements. Make sure that you have a little checklist of the stuff you want this person or this group of people to have in order for you to delegate to them, and make sure that when you talk with them or interview them, or maybe you have just a little talk, a little chat, make sure they meet all those requirements and don't lower your expectations in order to find someone fast and to start doing this quickly. That is not going to be an efficient way and it's not going to bring you to any good results. Now, I have a little pro tip for streamlining your drafting process that I think will help you a lot, but you need to know how to properly use it. Something you can do is to create a floor plan template library. What do I mean with this? Create a library of reusable floor plan templates. I mean, you probably already noticed that you often encounter similar layout requirements, and let's say that you work mostly with residential projects. They probably have similarities across different projects like the living room layouts or office layouts and so on. So by creating a collection of pre-designed templates, you can save a bunch of time, like really a lot of time during the initial stages of each project. And this doesn't mean that you would do it exactly like that template. Doesn't mean that each project you do is going to be a copy of the other one. It just saves you time on the foundations of the floor plan. If that makes any sense for you, this would allow you to just have the base to start, and then you can start modifying each part of that template. So for example, start by developing templates for common rooms layouts, like I was saying, living rooms or office spaces, and also do it for functional zones that align with various design styles. Let's say that maybe a kitchen or something that you see that happens to be very similar in each project that you do or that repeats constantly. You can also include standard dimensions for furniture and also for architectural elements. And as I said, you can customize all of these templates as you need. You can make them suit your specific project requirements, which will allow you to adapt very, very quickly to each client's preferences or whatever they are requiring you to do. This will not only expedite the drafting process, but it would also provide you a foundation for creativity and innovation, because you already have taken off that initial stage of the project off your shoulders. And also think it this way: as you start refining and updating your templates based on your client's feedback or your points of view, or maybe even your colleagues, and you start evolving it together with design trends, your library will also become a valuable resource that improves efficiency and it doesn't compromise your design quality. Once again, by using this ready-to-go templates, you can jumpstart your floor planning process, and you can also focus on more creative aspects of the design process. You can focus on your zone of genius, and this will enable you to deliver such a exceptional result to your clients. I hope this last section made sense, and I want to summarize before we close this episode so we don't get lost. So in conclusion, floor plans are an indispensable tool for interior designers, and they act as the foundation on which exceptional spaces are built. And by understanding their significance and considering delegation and embracing technological advancements, you can also get so efficient and elevate your design practice. You can bring your interior design business to the next level and turn into one of the most profitable companies in your area. Also, remember that a well-crafted floor plan is the key to turning a creative vision into reality. As we said, very accurate measurements and dimensions are absolutely essential in this part of the process. I really hope that this episode was helpful for you in one or many ways, and I would love to hear from you in my DMs and chat a little bit about whatever you are thinking about, maybe some struggles you're having, and I can try to help you. Thank you for joining me in another episode, and I will see you next week. Thank you for listening to the Sur Studio podcast. We love to have in our community. Let's be friends on social media. You can find us on Instagram at surstudio.id or check out our website at surstudiointeriordesign.com. This was Priscilla from Sur Studio, and I look forward to have you on our next episode.